You can start.
So, okay, today we will talk about the play of Oscar Wilde, the importance of being earnest, and here we have some guidelines. And the first question, classmates, is what do you think is the influence of the author's life in relation with the book? So, do you have any opinion on this?
Well, I think that Oscar Wilde represented his life through the books in many different, points. For example, we can see through the book what he thought about these conventional values that the society had in this time, in this period, because he disliked these controversial values. Because we can see through the book that in many times he wrote his characters making like a debate between them, but in an ironic way, ironizing the values of the society. So I think that yes, this is a big, huge, important part.
And let's not forget that he also disliked them, but in a polite way. Like
of
he tries
course
to do it in a polite and touching too much on the vulgar
yes,
point
of
of view.
course.
So he's like kind of clever in that point, where he finds the ways to say things that no much people could understand. So
You need to know something about Oscar Wilde and something about the historical period of the book.
Yes, because he wrote this play like in the Victorian era of England. So he used to laugh or make jokes because in relation to the morality or the moral issues in this era. Because you know that most character used to pretend being like a gentleman and have respectful values, but what he showed through the book was kind of the opposite, because the protagonist Jack and Algie create these invented friends and like an alter ego, for instance, in which he, in a way, they did what they couldn't do as being Jack and Algie. They behave in immoral attitudes or in wicked manners. So he tried to make fun of these issues through the book in the characters.
Yes.
I think, guys, that you are right, and I think that the notion of false morality and false truth is truly representative in this book, because you can see it in the speech of the characters and the politeness principle that is shown, and also the Victorian rules that they have to respect in the age.
Yes, exactly. Another thing that it calls my attention was that this concept of double life that he represents through the character, like Jack as create this invented friend Ernest, and Algie create this Bunbury, I think it was his friend. So in a way, what we found about Wilde's life as having this known about his sexual orientation, which it was forbidden, I think, for that period in England. So perhaps he could go beyond his life and try to have a release through his writings in the book.
Yes. Yeah, we can relate closely these doppelgangers of Jack, who is actually a polite man that tries is seen as polite, as elegant, educated, and
well dressed.
Yes, and we have this Earnest as the other part of this doppelganger, who is totally the opposite. This person do what he wants to do and doesn't care too much of what people could say about him. So we could relate that with his life, where when he not fakes, but tries to be someone that society accepts as a human being and as a citizen, for saying. But he would also like to be, more open and say what he feels and how he sees people. I mean, his point of view.
Yes, I see your point. As far as I know, Oscar Wilde was gay, let's say gay, and I think that through this book he wanted to show the experiences that he has over the period of being.
You mean that he have to hide one part of his life?
Yeah.
Because the society it's going to punish him. It's
for him oriental sexuality.
So through the book, he could feel the freedom to write
whatever he wants.
He wanted to do in his own life.
Yes, and also I think that we can see that in different part of the book, because for example, there is 2 big places on the story, that is countryside and the country itself. So we can see that Cecile is like an open girl. She didn't have many problems being well dressed, or he didn't concern about things that, for example, Gwendoline worried in that time. She was well dressed and well educated and polite all the time. So maybe there were 2 parts of
contrasts.
Yes,
contrasts.
Yes, and Agustina, and it was totally opposed to these girls, because she was a strong woman. She has a politeness principle, very let's say quiet.
And she was really concerned about marriage, and that's another thing that we can talk about, symbols, what marriage represents in the book.
Yeah.
Because she was like this stereotype character who is really worried about, in this book, her daughter's future. So when Jack asked Gwendoline when he proposed to her, she denied that union because Jack didn't have this respectful family heritage. So in a way, that character represents like a stereotype for that period.
Yeah, I'm going back to what Victoria said about what he tried to express through the book. I think that goes beyond that, and he used every single book that he has written express something about his life. I mean, try to express and release his emotions through the books. And we can say that, I have to support that by saying that when he was arrested and was in jail, he wrote a book there in jail. And he expressed how he felt, his experiences in jail. So that's a way to release all those emotions that were contained in his inner part, and to everyone who judge and can say whatever or think whatever they want to think.
Yeah, but I think that this book represents better his life, because it's like, as you said, all his book represents his life, but this one represents in like an exact way, because we can choose part of the book and see how Oscar Wilde thought in many different parts. For example, on food, he tried to ironize the politeness principle of, giving food to you if you visit me, but through this he tried to show in a fun way that this is like not idiot, but a silly thing to do.
I don't have enough information to say that this book especially represents his life, because I haven't read the rest of them. But like I said, I'm not trying to say that this book is special or another book is special. Like, the whole set of books that he wrote
Okay.
are like a biography of his life.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I don't really see your point, Vicky, in terms of food, because as far as I know, or as far as I get the book, they see food like to make fun, because when Cecily offered sugar and cake to Gwendolyn, she denied it because she said sugar is old-fashioned.
Yes.
So she, in a way, tried to be not rude, but tried to bother Cecily. You know, so it's, I think it goes beyond.
No, maybe I couldn't explain myself well, but I was trying to say that you said because in that, well, when Cecile offered cake and tea, I think, they were talking about her husband.
Yes.
And the husband was the same. So when they realized of that situation, especially situation, Gwendolyn tried to make fun of Cecile through this food, saying that this is old-fashioned, so please reject your husband because it's my husband, you know?
Yes.
Well, girls, I see your points, but the thing that really concerns me is the marriage here, because those girls, Cecily and Gwendolyn, at the end of the book, accept this guy, even though she knew the truth, you know, because on the Victorian age, the social position was important, and for that reason, I think that these girls accept Jack and Ernest.
Like for interest.
For interest.
Interest. I don't know, for convenience. For convenience, I think is the word.
And in relation with that, what about Michelle, if you read us a critical thinking question?
I will have our last question. What is it? What did Jack meant when declaring that he finally knew what the vital importance of being earnest was?
Well, can I say something before we go for this critical question? Because related to what you're saying, we can say too that maybe, I'm not saying that it's the truth, but maybe these girls accept this because in that period you didn't have a huge variety of options to choose a husband. And if you consider that your surname was important in that period, you need to choose like very well to be a good life in the future. So,
but what happened with love? Because, well, in this case, the two couples love each other, but it wasn't the case of every couple at that period.
yeah. Well,
You married for convenience, or you married for love?
I mean, in that period, I think that love goes to a second place, yeah.
no, and I think also because Oscar Wilde, I'm not sure, but through the book, showed that he didn't believe it, or he wanted to make fun of love in an ironic way. Showing this.
Maybe Oscar Wilde suffered so much that he wanted to see love as a funny way, in a funny way.
Ironizing, like a comedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this was a comedy. Well, in relation to the third question, do you have any opinion?
Sorry, can you repeat me the question?
What did Jack find out about the vital importance being earnest?
Well, in my case, I think that Jack realized that if he would tell the truth at the beginning of the book, everything is going to well, or in a good way, develop in a good way.
Yeah, I agree with you, because if this guy Jack tell the truth since the beginning, he maybe avoid the whole huge problem that they have.
Well, to me, this title has something hidden, because he said the importance of being earnest. And earnest, if you can think about, is similar to honest, to tell the truth. So to me, the title could also be like the importance of being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were, like you said, Vicky, if you are honest from the beginning, he would have, have a different
We wouldn't
ending,
have
maybe.
had much trouble,
Yeah.
I think. Especially because he lied to the woman he loved, and that in a way hurt the relationship. So he should, well, that's a good experience in the end.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we go beyond to the Oscar Wilde life, through this name or to this title, Oscar Wilde want to show how society was in that period. That maybe the society was all the time, I don't know, saying things that weren't true, maybe. So he wanted to make fun of the society itself, and not just one part of the society of moral or controversial values that we were talking about at the beginning.
To me, at least the book tried to explain and say that it's really important to be honest. Not show a fake image of yourself.
Yeah, I understand the same way as you, that we have to be honest since the beginning, because if you lie, you have problems sometimes and hurt people's feelings.
Exactly, I agree with both of you.
Yes.
So
I
we
think-
finish?
I think we are done. I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
We need to say our names.
No, I know your name.